Hello, I'm Bronwyn Cooper, Barefoot Science Queen of the Universe, I think, but really a foot strengthening podiatrist, and proud to be the Australian distributor of this unique and wonderful ready-to-wear insole system called Barefoot Science. And the name, it really explains it. The science and technology are used to simulate a barefoot environment within your shoes as you comfortably walk. So you're stimulating balance because the central dome, like a Birkenstock, is under where your nociceptors or sensory nerves are really concentrated under the centre of the arch, and it's going to switch on your foot muscles, the foot intrinsics, inch you with each step as you walk, so that the resistance plugs are increased at weekly intervals, and it's used to help rehabilitate incorrect movement patterns, posture, and also pain of weight-bearing linkages. What do I use it for? I use it for everything in my clinic. If we look at the two skeletons alignment here, and thanks to MBT of Switzerland, another brand that used this sort of technology in the sole of a shoe over 20 years ago, you'll see that the first thing that happens is a lot of people will say, I feel taller. And if you're in podiatry general practice with a lot of older folk, that's one of the first things they'll say, because they stand up straighter, just as this has helped contribute to my much improved posture and therefore correct loading of joint alignments and muscle function. So we're talking about two different length insoles, so I'll just switch over to where in our reception and showroom we've put a sign up, put your brain back in control of the foot, which really explains it all. Now there's a lot of information on websites here and in the UK and Canada and North America, but I'm going to just quickly do a little influence of footwear and how clinicians can best help their patients with this, and a practical guide for them to help as well in their clinics. I recommend to our clinicians they all stock a minimum of 4 pair. They really don't need to do extra large if they want to cover 80 to 90% of their patients, and have a 3/4 length in their clinics so that the patients can get to try them on after their appointment or at their appointment. So extra small through to large, and this will fit into even the wrong shoes, as you're about to see. Before we get to show you that, I just want to explain it doesn't matter about your foot type. If we look at a high arched foot, they're going to not feel that central dome under here, and I'm showing you the lateral side for a particular reason. You'll get distracted by the foot anatomy showing up on the medial side. Here's an anatomically flat foot, and it is possible, if it's a flexible flat foot, to take that foot, as you can see up here, courtesy of a minimalist site called toesalad.com, that runner's foot on the left, from the very flexible flat foot to that in about 14 weeks, simply wearing this. That runner had already switched to a minimalist shoe without heel height, etc. There are two models in terms of, two lengths, 3/4 length, which really fits into your dress shoes far better than this. The full length is designed more for when you have a removable insole, such as athletic footwear and tradies boots in particular. But right now I'm holding a model that's only been available in Australia for 3 years, Therapeutic Plus. The colour is a different colour, and the only difference mechanically is simply that, no difference mechanically. Therapeutic Plus is marketed for diabetics, and what it is a material called Celliant, which has been woven into the top cover. So it's purely the top cover that's the difference. Now in Australia, I put a sticker on the box for a distribution so that non-diabetics won't think we've given them the wrong model. So Celliant to stimulate blood flow for healing and pain relief in damaged nerves or peripheral neuropathy, poor circulation, chilblains, Raynaud's phenomena and the like, fractures, injury, arthritis, and post-op recovery. But generally for swollen foot, I would go with a 3/4. It takes up less room in the shoe. So an old podiatrist tricks, to put it mildly. We know that generally in a fashion shoe, the heel seat is narrower. So the heel seat, the width medial to laterally in the shoe, is narrower than in a sports shoe. What I would generally do is just trim a millimetre width from here and here to go into a fashion shoe. Yes, it can be worn in a court shoe, otherwise known as a pump shoe in America. A better shoe to fit anything in and have the foot remain in place properly is a higher upper. In the footwear industry it's called the vamp, but a higher upper in a shoe such as a loafer, a slip-on moccasin, or the Skechers Go Walk, a very popular shoe, 4 mils of heel height. and a slight curve in through the centre. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. So, can you wear them in a fashion shoe that's open at both ends? Well, you'd have to double Velcro that, but generally a rigid rocker sandal, you're not flexing at toe off. I find they do stay in place, such as an MBT, but it's about the only one. But no orthotic device will stay put in a shoe such as this. Heel height, yes, you can put these, as they're flexible, into a range of heel heights. Now, another upper that might pose a challenge with a high instep or a high arch foot is your typical riding boot, especially a fashion toe box. My Baxter riding boot here from Australia, we simply use the 3/4, and for very few patients we may in fact have to just not put level 1 in at the first 24 hours or so, but that's really the case. So for the true minimalists, if you've got a toed Vivo Barefoot, sorry, not a toed, a Vivo Barefoot anatomically lasted shoe, or Ultra or Topo, all minimalist brands that we stock, you would put your 3/4 or your full length. But if you've got the toed shoes, obviously it's got to be the 3/4. And with the flexibility in that shoe, I do find that it's better to double Velcro it under the centre of the heel and just here at the front edge in position in a really flexible shoe. Now, you will never have another orthotic printing problem in your life with Barefoot Science. You will never have another patient compliance issue in your life with Barefoot Science. How do I know? I've used these prolifically for 11 years now. And repeat business, I personally have 11 pairs. I still am wearing my first pair because I rotate them through a lot of different shoes. Generally, we podiatrists know this trick, that if you've got a no heel shoe or a low heel like my riding boot, or the 0 drop in the Ultra, or only the 4 mils in the Skechers Go Walk, the patient will feel this a lot more, this central dome, than if it's a higher heel. So if you look at a higher heel shoe, this would sit like this that I'm showing you now. So the other shoes where this tends to also have the effect of the dome magnified is in a rocker. And I did point out the Skechers Go Walk has it's not a true rocker, but it has a slight curve through under the centre of most of those models. So here's the cutaway of the sole technology in a hocker. So a hocker, MBT, FitFlop, those brands, generally the dome will be accentuated. In our showroom here at Dr. Foot Solutions in Sydney, I have the original Canadian display system on display for people to look at, which shows you the slot, and it increasingly, weekly intervals, increasing sized, and then durometer rubbers that go in as the foot muscles get to switch on. Clinically proven, and studies to show change muscle firing and so forth. But even the back of the box has your weight-bearing distribution changing after being worn. In that study from Canada, this particular foot here, the rheumatoid foot, before, and 30 minutes later, the same foot wearing Barefoot Science. Now that's from a study in the NHS in the UK. All I know is it's a rheumatoid foot, and I don't know what sort of shoes. The effect of the shoe is everything anyway, which is why we all need Barefoot Science. It simply helps negate the decades effect of wearing shoes, and particularly the wrong shoes if you've got heel height, etc. We no longer need to go to the custom devices that we thought we needed to. We see many, many patients that are coming with whole collections of orthotic devices that have failed treatment. As you can see, this one was heel pain because of the gel insoles. So in summary, for clinicians, I would recommend a special priced fitting pack, and that way every single patient with a balance issue, with corns and calluses, with any weight-bearing linkage through from hammer toes, big toe joint, all the way through to the neck, I would suggest you get them to try on Barefoot Science at their appointment and leave the choice with them. Their body will tell you how they feel about this. And those of you that have stumbled onto this video, you're welcome to buy these direct through our web shop, and also here in Dr. Foot Solutions in Sydney, drfootsolutions.com.au.